So, do a blog right quick, before I get started. You know, let's just a quick little note. I'm just laughing because I'm glad that Mischief and Little Nas X got stopped right in their tracks. I'm glad Nike filed that lawsuit to basically cease and desist them from and copyright infringement. They're trying to put them funky ass shoes out, so I'm glad that Nike stepped up to the plate, which I predicted they could do anyway. So, shout out to Nike. That's cool on their part. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna continue to talk some boxing on my way home. Talk about the whole Tyson Fury dilemma with Deontay Wilder. You're just hearing a lot of different things. Then Devin Haney's fighting on the 29th, so it appears this is the third time the date has been changed. It went from the 21st to the 28th. Now it's supposed to be on May the 29th at the Mandalay Bay, so it will take place on a Saturday. I'll be there more than likely. So, I'm asking the Bay if they can make it, come through, show up, show out. Vegas is about to be jumping again. If they're gonna open up basically these arenas to live spectator, they definitely gonna open up the clubs. So Vegas is gonna be on and popping. May is coming up. It's gonna be hot. We're gonna see what you got to go through to get in there and stuff. So but at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to it. Seeing Devin do his thing. I talked to Bill. I told him where the after party go be at. So he got some ideas. So we gonna hopefully do an after party. I'm just gonna do an all nighter. I'm just gonna fly in. Just gonna make sure I get plenty of sleep Friday night. I'm probably gonna do probably just gonna do an all nighter. Do an all nighter. Go back to Oakland like in the morning or something. I'm gonna debate whether I'm gonna go to work or not. So, I may stay there the weekend. It just depends on what's going on at the time. I have no idea what's going on with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, they just wait for Manny Pacquiao to make a decision. And I think people's patience is running thin with him, so it's kind of like people kind of getting irritated with Manny Pacquiao because it's taking him too long to make a decision on what he wants to do. I mean, he's had over a year, almost 2 years, so they just waiting on him. A lot of people. But Mikey Garcia and to a certain degree Errol Spence is waiting to see what Manny Pacquiao is going to do, but I have an idea of what's going on with Manny Pacquiao. But as I said before, Bud and them need to just try to set up their next fight, which I already know who Bud is fighting. At the end of the day, people going to complain about it anyway. It don't matter. So it don't matter who Bud fight. People going to have something to say. Like I said, people are, Bud is at the point to where people just find something to bitch about. That's what's going on. I'll just put it to you this way, Pratt. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Whoever Bud is fighting, it's gonna be on pay-per-view, and it's gonna be a pay-per-view fight. That's for damn sure. I already know who Bud is fighting. It'll be announced real soon. Either Wednesday or it'll be announced at the end of the week. And from what I heard, this fight is going to be in the States. So, we'll see. We'll see. Manny is not going to fight unless he guaranteed $20 million at least. That's his minimum. He's not fighting nobody unless he's guaranteed a minimum of $20 million. He not fighting for no 5. He not fighting for no 10. If he ain't guaranteed a minimum of $20 million, then he not fighting. That's his minimum. And I guess you could say to a certain degree he earned it because he had a lot of million selling pay-per-views. So, it is what it is. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just out here. I'm just out here working, Just out here working, Now I gotta say this thing about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury and the Anthony Joshua dilemma. At the end of the day, you just hearing conflicting reports. You're hearing that Wilder's gonna be compensated to step aside. Then you hearing from Tyson Fury's father, well, we don't have a date, we don't have a venue, we don't have the money set. So you just hearing a lot of different things. But Bob Arum saying they still in arbitration. They saying that they gonna win the arbitration. But Deontay Wilder, if he does decide to step aside, Deontay Wilder is gonna receive enough money as if he actually fighting. They're saying Deontay Wilder could receive possibly $10 million just to step aside. Nah. Bud is gonna be fighting either in Las Vegas or he gonna be fighting in New York. Or worst case scenario, Los Angeles, but Bud is probably gonna be fighting in Las Vegas. But at the end of the day, Texas is still a gold mine right now because Texas could go full capacity. I wouldn't count out Texas, but Las Vegas is going to host 2 fights. They're going to host Ramirez Taylor, which, by the way, that's going to be an awesome fight. And then they're going to host Devin Haney versus Linares at the Mandalay Bay. Now, I'm hearing that the Raider Stadium is going to get used for a boxing event. It's going to get used for MMA and it's going to get used for a boxing event. The Raiders will have fans in the stands this season. All teams will have fans in the stand. Devin ain't ducking no Lomachenko, man. No, he not. Lomachenko got asked to get made the franchise champion. Devin Haney. Don't believe nothing that come out of Lomachenko's mouth. Devin Haney ain't ducking Lomachenko. Lomachenko need to worry about getting past his next opponent. Now, as far as that goes, Bob Arum has said that Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez is next should they win their next fight. Now, Teofimo Lopez supposedly only have 2 fights left with Top Rank, but then there's a possibility that he might be staying, depending on what happens. But Teofimo versus Devin Haney is supposed to be next. Now, I know for a fact that Bob Arum been wanting to sign Devin Haney for a minute. I heard that from Bill. I've heard that from people at Top Rank that work with Top Rank. They think Devin Haney is an asset. They think he is the goods. But you have to understand, when you promote fighters and you are a promoter, a lot of times what's going on now, you don't want to match your best fighter with somebody else's best fighter just in case your best fighter loses. Which, like I said, to me, losing ain't a big deal these days, but everybody want to play this role. Everybody want to do the Floyd thing. Everybody want to take, big paydays, but, less risk in the ring. And like I said before, you gonna see probably a lot of fighters retire undefeated within the next five years. The next 5 years, you gonna see quite a few, and then that's sort of like add a stain to boxing, because you gonna see that, hey, these dudes wasn't trying to make the best fights they can make, and that's gonna be terrible. It's not gonna be a good look, because you can't get the best fights out there. And I don't like that shit. I think Pratt, that shit then came and went. I think Bob Arum is kind of like done with Lomachenko. Keep in mind, Lomachenko accused Bob Arum of paying off judges. And I know for a fact Bob Arum can hold grudges against you. That's why they call him the Bob Father. I think he's kind of done with Lomachenko. I think when Lomachenko lost to Teofimo, I think that was sort of like the end all be all, because they had put so much hype and emphasis on him, and then you seen sort of like him lose his second fight in like 17 fights, which I don't think he's completely done, but based off the hype that they put around Lomachenko, it seemed like he's done. And then keep in mind, Lomachenko had a chance to fight Manny Pacquiao. He didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao. And I laughed when he said, I feel guilty about beating a legend. I was like, man, stop it. Man, stop it. You just didn't want the damn fight. What up? So, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Bob tries to stick it to Lomachenko. Because I don't think Bob like paid the judges. I just think Lomachenko just didn't do nothing. He just waited too long to do something. And then here's the thing, like I said, when you make a dude confident as the fight go on, you just like, now it's like you toast. Teofimo knows now that he can stop Lomachenko if they fight again. And I think if they fight again, Teofimo stops Lomachenko. I think he gonna, it wouldn't surprise me if he went and made Teofimo Lomachenko too, because it's an in-house fight. And then due to the fact that this time you could get a live audience. I didn't think that fight was even close. I thought Teofimo won that fight going away. I thought Teofimo, best case scenario, won 9 rounds to 3, worst case 8-4. Like I said, Lomachenko gave up the first 7 rounds. But like I said, Lomachenko had a couple of rounds where he looked like got it together. Because I think in the 9th round, the 9th or 10th round, it looked like Lomachenko Lomachenko put it together. And it looked like he was on the verge of stopping Teofimo, but Teofimo made adjustments. Because I didn't watch that fight a couple of times, and I was like, damn. Who knows? Maybe if Lomachenko had got started a little bit early, he might have been able to stop Teofimo. But then he let so many rounds like slip away from him. He gave Teofimo confidence. And then the 11th and the 12th round, Teofimo, he closed the show. Teofimo was on the verge of stopping Lomachenko. I don't think that fight was even close. Lomachenko in the rematch, he would have to start right away. But you wonder, would he be shell-shocked from knowing that he almost got stopped in the 12th? So a rematch would be kind of interesting, but I still think Teofimo stops Lomachenko in the next fight. If they fight again, I think Teofimo will stop him. I think it'll be interesting. I think Lomachenko guy that go for broke, because one, you seen Lomachenko can't fight backwards, can't fight off the ropes, As long as you don't let Lomachenko stay in the middle of the ring to where he can jump in and jump out and reset and try to use angles sometimes like Pacquiao does. Because Lomachenko's defense is his offense and his offense is his defense. Lomachenko ain't no bob and weave like type of fighter. He's never been a good defensive fighter. He can be hit. He got hit by George Linares. He got hit by Luke Campbell. He got hit by Pedraza. So he's not hard to you know what I'm saying? Lomachenko is not hard to hit. And even before the Teofimo fight, Lomachenko was getting lumped up. He got pieced up by Luke Campbell. Got pieced up by Pedraza. Linares, had he not got stopped, Linares was on the verge of possibly winning that fight. And Linares dropped Lomachenko. So, and you have to wonder, Lomachenko got a lot of wear and tear on him from all those amateur fights. Yes, they amateur fights. You got headgear on for the most part, but you still fighting rounds. I mean, this is a dude that fought 400 amateur fights. Yeah, Linares, had he not got stopped, he was on his way to beat Lomachenko. I said 3 years ago, it was a blueprint on beating Lomachenko. Pressure him, pressure him, pressure him, pressure him. Lomachenko don't like fighting. Lomachenko don't like when you fight him on the inside. He don't like when you rough him up. You have to roughhouse him. So like I said, Teofimo, now that he beat Lomachenko, he know how to beat him. All he got to do is do the same thing he did in the first fight. Apply pressure. Don't let Lomachenko reset. And like, you know what I'm saying? Fight Lomachenko on the inside. Lomachenko has very short arms. That's why Lomachenko don't like fighting in the pocket. He doesn't feel comfortable trying to fight on the inside. He doesn't feel comfortable fighting off the ropes. You take away Lomachenko's range and you smother him and you walk him down and you keep him against the ropes, he's like, you can do a lot with him. You got to remember that. There's always been a blueprint on how to beat Lomachenko. All Salido did was just pressure Lomachenko. He pressured him. He roughed Lomachenko. Do not like pressure fighters. And like I said before, Lomachenko is 32, 33 years old. He might be an old 32, 33 because like I said, this man has 400 amateur fights. Lomachenko was never elite. He was a good fighter that they tried to make a great fighter. You don't lose your second professional fight to a dude that got double-digit losses and you considered an elite fighter. He was never an elite fighter. He was a good fighter, but he was never an elite fighter. Like I said, elite fighters don't lose to dudes that got double-digit losses. You don't lose to, and he got beat thoroughly by Salido. He got beat thoroughly. He got beat thoroughly. He didn't barely get beat by Salido. He got beat thoroughly. Now, Lomachenko had a good 12th round, but besides that, he got outclassed, he got outpointed, he got beat every step of the way. But I never said Lomachenko wasn't a good fighter. He a good fighter, but how they made this, I mean, the way they was talking, it got irritating because he got props that he didn't deserve. They were saying after like 13 fights, he was better than some of the greatest people that ever fought. They were saying he was better than Durant, saying he was better than Ali, better than Floyd, better than better than De La Hoya. He was all them guys. And I ain't even the biggest De La Hoya fan, but they were saying he was better than all them dudes after 12 fights, and that was crazy. That was ludicrous to say that dude that was ludicrous to say that he was better than all those dudes. Duran was a very tough fighter. You tripping? I say this about Floyd. It all depends on what time they fight. Floyd was a dude that got better as he got older. I think Duran would give Floyd fits. I think he would give Floyd fits, and I gotta admit, he would give Floyd fits. I mean, Floyd ain't unbeatable, but it would be interesting to see that fight. I think he would give Floyd fits. Like I said before, I think a young Sugar Ray Leonard, let's just say Floyd and Sugar Ray Leonard both fought at age 21. I think Sugar Ray Leonard beats Floyd. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd fight at maybe 30. I think Floyd mops the floor with Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, Floyd ain't unbeatable. I mean, he was very good, but I'm just saying he wasn't unbeatable. So I'm just keeping it 100. But I think Lomachenko, I got to see how he looks in his next fight, because like I said before, I started to see some of the wear and tear on him, like after the Linares fight. Like I said, when you have 400 amateur fights, doesn't matter whether it's, and then he decided to go pro at age like 26. He decided to go pro at age 26 or 25 or something like that, because he went, he decided to, be a two-time Olympian. Well, when Floyd's father fought like Sugar Ray Leonard, the thing with Floyd Sr. wasn't a big puncher. He wasn't what you call a big puncher. Sugar Ray Leonard had power and he had speed. But once again, Sugar Ray Leonard had his flaws too. Sugar Ray Leonard would have trouble with rangy fighters sometimes. That's why Thomas Hearns in the first fight gave Sugar Ray Leonard fits. And styles make fights. Just like when Marvin Hagler fought Sugar Ray Leonard, when he started to close the distance and he started to like fight Sugar Ray Leonard on the inside, and when he was he started to bother Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard, none of his punches was really affecting Marvin Hagler. But if you look at some of the punches Hagler was landing on Sugar Ray Leonard, when he would hit Sugar Ray Leonard flush, Sugar Ray Leonard would back up a little bit, and he'd start backing up. That's why I think Marvin Hagler won that fight, because he started to do more damage. I mean, this is going to go down as one of the most controversial fights in history, because I clearly stand by what I said. I thought Hagler won that fight, and I will say that forever. After watching that fight like 20-something times, would I had a better understanding of boxing, effective aggression, closing the distance. Oh yeah, Ryan Garcia is hot trash. I mean, I told you, Pratt. I told you he wasn't gonna fight none of them dudes right now. The man asked to be taken out of contention for Devin Haney's belt. So what does that say? He's saying he's not ready. He's not ready for Devin. He's not ready for Tank. Damn, a cheap Canelo, that's cold, man. That's cold. That's cold, man. That's what you call an ouch. I don't even think he Canelo. I keep telling you, I see a lot of Amir Khan and Ryan Garcia. I keep telling you that he remind me of Amir Khan a lot. He remind me so much of Amir Khan. It's not even funny. I really see Ryan Garcia being brutally knocked out eventually. And Luke Campbell really hurt him. And had Luke Campbell turned up the heat, who knows what would have happened. But Tank will brutally knock out Ryan Garcia if they fight. Ryan Garcia don't move his head. Sometimes when he swings, his punches are wide. He's not ready for Tank. He not ready for Tank. He fight Tank, he get knocked out. That fight not going 6 rounds. I promise you that. But then again, at the rate Tank going, Tank may never get in the ring again. You know, because Tank need to fix his problems that he got outside of boxing. And I hate to say this, Tank is one of them dudes. He gonna have to sit down and think: do he want to be a boxer or do he want to, be a street dude? You got the world in your hands. You arguably a top 10 pound for pound fighter, if not you close to it. You got to think: do you want to be a boxer or do you want to be, this is something that he has to think about. And at the end of the day, you 25 now, man. It's like you got to get to a point, man. Okay, what's best for you? Do you want to box or do you want to be, you want to be in these streets? I think it's a whole lot safer as of right now. You don't get arrested for boxing, but you can get arrested for that all that other stuff. And Tank just got a lot of bad history behind him and stuff. And then to a certain degree, you wonder, what's going on with him and Floyd. And Floyd supposed to be, mentoring him. And maybe he is. I don't want to put this all on Floyd, but at the same time, you still have to look at Tank. I mean, he's 25 years old, man. And like I said, I'm not passing judgment on him, but he always seemed to find himself in these bad situations. When you continue to find yourself in bad situation after bad situation, you have to ask yourself, is it me? Is it me? What am I doing? Am I hanging around the right people? Am I making the right decisions? Am I 100% all in and committed to the sport of boxing? So Tank has to ask himself those questions. I hope he does, because I don't want to see Tank. I don't want to see Tank lose his freedom. I don't want to see him lose his freedom. I root for these young black fighters, But at the end of the day, man, you have to ask yourself, like I said before, I don't hang around the same dudes when I was 20 versus now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm older now. So I don't hang around the same dudes. I may talk to them every once in a while, but I don't do the same things at 46 that I do at 26, because I'm out of that. I don't live that life no more. I don't do that stuff no more. You know what I'm saying? I got to be more mature and shit. Like I said, I had to grow up. So Tank got to start, Tank got to start, like, possibly deciding, like, is there people in my circle that I need to get away from? Well, like I said, Pratt, Tank is going to have to Tank is going to have a conversation with himself. And he going to have to ask himself, do he want to be a fighter or do he want to be in the streets? It's his decision at the end of the day. We can sit up and tell Tank, hey, Tank, man, we got your back. We support you. But at the end of the day, it's Tank's decision to make. What's up? What's up, Tim? So, like I said before, hey, I would love to have a conversation with Tank. Because I didn't been in that lifestyle. I love to talk to Tank. I love to have a one-on-one with him. Not no dude like, well, I ain't gonna say the dude's name. Not, a dude, not some of these dudes that be like trying to perpetrate like they street dudes based off how they talk on their channel. Trying to talk like they all hard, ain't never sold a rock in their life, ain't never had no, ain't never did no street stuff. And I'm not knocking them, but stop pretending that you live that lifestyle. I didn't did all that shit. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not condoning it. I'm not, glorifying it. I'm just telling the truth. I would love to talk to Tank. I love to talk to Tank for like 30 minutes, see where his head is. Because, I know Tank watch these videos and stuff. Hey, Tank, man, on some real shit, man. When you see this video, man, get at me, man. Get at me. On some real shit, man. Just, holla at me. But anyway, you guys, thanks for tapping in, man. I'll be back later with some more content. And as soon as it's clear to make the announcement who Bud is fighting, we'll discuss it. We'll all put it together. Like I said, some people gonna like it, some people ain't.